Hey everyone, this is Sperry, and today I'm bringing you guys a discussion video. This will be a little bit different than my rants in the sense that it is an open-ended topic that is clearly open-ended, and I'm just going to offer you my personal perspective on it, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a video where I'm going to ask a question early on and answer it to myself, and I also want to hear your opinions. And this is the type of question that there is actually no right or wrong answer to, it's just a discussion. So it should be something that there can be a lot of participation from my audience on. I would really appreciate if you guys left a comment with your opinions on this video if you watch it and you're interested enough. I will respond to your comment if you leave a comment, 100%, and we can have a discussion. I really like having discussions with my viewers, so I decided that today would be a good time to make a discussion video. So anyways, the question I'm going to be asking today is, what do you find either annoying or irritating in players in the game? Like, what specific behaviors or attitudes or actions do you find either annoying or irritating in Toontown for the players? And I have a little bit of a different answer than what some other people might give. I think it's somewhat similar, but I think it's a little bit different than what a lot of people might say. I don't actually find it annoying as I used to when players are just bad in general. I can almost get over that a little bit now for some reason, just because I understand that there's a large discrepancy in skill. There's either people who take the game more or less casually than I do, and I think that's important to remember. There are people who have more or less experience. There's people who have different levels of intelligence, different levels of maturity, and just different levels of development. When you have such an eclectic game like Toontown, where you have a wide variety of players, you're going to have players that are very young, players that are in their teenage years, players that are younger or older teenage years. You'll have younger adults, you'll have some middle-aged people, you'll have some retired people, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses in the game. So for me, I'm starting to feel like I don't actually care as much about somebody's actual skill. I have a couple of friends. You'll even see a guy in the video named, I think his name is, shoot, I can't remember his name. I know it has Gus in it. It's the blue duck named Gus something. Ugly Gus? I don't even know. But the guy's a total goofball. I don't think he actually knows any of the sound combos. He just loves to spam rewards, and he thinks he's funny. And I like playing with him. He's a really sweet guy. He always asks me how my day's going, and he just asks me a bunch of questions about how I'm doing, and we have really funny conversations. But the guy's not a skilled player at all, and that's okay. I enjoy playing with him because he's a fun guy to be around. So I think in some ways I can almost get over people being unskilled, given if I feel like they're unskilled because either they're taking the game more casually or because they're just not thinking about the game the same way that I am. The times where I personally begin to get frustrated are when I feel like a player has a big ego and refuses to listen to somebody else's opinion. They're so convinced that they're right that even when there's clearly evidence to show that they're wrong, they're too stubborn to actually admit it. Like, I've had a few experiences like that throughout my entire leveling experience. I'm a big cheese and boss bot now, as you guys see in this clip, and I had to deal with this when I was maxing cash bot too. It's for people who are too arrogant to see the possibility of somebody else's point of view. Anytime somebody ever criticizes me, I at least try to think, okay, is their strategy right or wrong? I've had some groups in my back nine try to tell me that the two fog rule in the first battle with the piano is faster, and I'm open-ended to that, and I think it might actually be faster if you don't have sound misses and if the whole group is very competent. But I still wouldn't try it in my random group runs, but if I'm with people who I know understand it, maybe I'm willing to do that. Or if I make a mistake on a maze, I'm open-ended to realize, okay, I made a mistake, so because I don't know the mazes as well as some other people do, I'm going to follow them, so I don't make the run slower by going out on my own path. But, for example, the players who just insist on going out on their own on the maze every single fucking time because they're too proud to follow somebody else, or just completely disregard any type of strategy because they say, like, I had a cat today in the, what is it? We were doing a front three after I had to do 4 back nines for my Corporator 11, and then I had to do a front three plus like a building or two. And in that front three, there was a cat who came in with a trunk. That's not a big deal, but the way it works is for the first battle, you need to use 3 trunks and a fog because we had a few less fogs on our team because she was missing that foghorn. So it's very imperative that the trunk are used with the foghorn on the 10s, and then the Ugas are used on the 11 in order to make sure we kill everything. And the cat I mean, she screwed up the combo a couple times, whatever. That was frustrating. It was really frustrating. But the part that really pissed me off and set me off was when the cat just says, "I don't have max sound. What do you expect me to do? Why are you trying to tell me to do things I can't do?" Like, basically completely missing the point of everything we were trying to say. We were just trying to get her to use her sound in the right combination, like say use her trunks in the right place, and she just went off like, "I've already considered everything. I know what I'm doing. Shut the fuck up." Like, that was her attitude. It's just people who suck at the game and think they're better than they are. Those are the people who piss me the fuck off. Like, and I think it really applies to life in the same way. It's people who just are so arrogant and confident in their opinion, and it's completely fucking wrong. That's what makes me upset. Or also just people who it's the idea of just completely refusing to listen to somebody, not because you don't understand them or because you're not the best listener, but because you just straight up don't acknowledge their opinion could be right. You cannot alter your schema of thinking because you're too arrogant to do so. That's the shit that pisses me off and makes me really upset. And when I see that happen, somebody with a big ego, a big attitude, combined with being bad at the game, that's what sets me off. And sometimes you'll get a rare response elicited from me. I can tell you that if you ever do that in one of my games, I probably will not say anything to you because, first of all, it's just not appropriate to rage at somebody in Toontown. Like, Toontown rewritten, I don't think verbal abuse really is the best way to go. But I can tell you, there is at least a 95% chance that I am telling all my friends on Skype what a shitlord you are, and I'm raging out loud. So, but I very very rarely actually will say anything in game because it's just rude. It's not my place. I don't know somebody's life story, and also it'll probably get me banned if I do that. So I'm very polite in the actual game, but to me, it's the combination of a big ego with a lack of skill that really gets me. And the other thing that I find irritating, this is just probably a personal pet peeve of mine, is when people just refuse to shut up about very personal details of their life while playing Toontown when nobody else has expressed any interest in hearing what they have to say whatsoever. Like, I forget, a couple of times I'm just doing back nines and I'm just sitting there clicking my gags and everybody else getting into a pissing contest about who's the poorest. And they're all giving examples of like how poor they are and trying to outdo each other and guilt trip each other, and it's just the cringiest shit imaginable. I think it was two of them. And then the other two of us, they were trying to like get us involved and say like they legit asked us like, who do you think has it worse? And like we're both just sitting there like, what the fuck? We don't care. We just want to get our options. Like, why are you asking us about personal details of your life? Or we'll just get the people who keep going on, like just narrating their day's story when nobody really cares. And like, I think the reason why this bothers me is because when I was a lot younger, I didn't really have the most awareness, I guess. So sometimes when you kind of see somebody doing something that's a little bit antisocial and you can relate to that also being you, that kind of fucks you up a little bit because you're like, man, I remember when I did that cringy stuff. It's hard to watch somebody else do it. That's probably why that's like a personal thing for me, but by far the two behaviors that really get under my skin are the first one being people who have big egos and suck at the game and refuse to listen to others because they're too proud or too arrogant. And also people who just don't have any social situational awareness to like know when to shut up or like what details not to share or when to stop just droning on into like a monologue about everything going on in your life in the past, present, and future. But I mean, I probably sound like a real jerk saying those things, but that's just my opinion. And honestly, I will never say any of this to you in game. It's just not my place to judge anyone for saying this stuff in game. But anyways, back to the point. I'd like to know, what do you guys think? Please tell me, what behaviors do you find annoying or irritating in the game? Thanks for watching. Leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, YouTube.